about negotiations, right? Politics.
And we're out of time. So you.
All gravity, any day above ground, live it.
I'm back.
I'll spare y'all staring at the thumbnail because I know you don't like them too that we're going to talk about today. But yes, family, we are back. And shout out to the Connecticut Sun once again. I really didn't know what I was going to talk about today. I know I said last night I was going to talk about the Roland Martin piece. But then I started getting discouraged because I was like, I really don't want to be hearing this man. But something dropped in my lap today. And I said, okay, we might as well expand on the concept that I've come up with. If they give you your intellectual thought leaders, you better question it. Now, for those who follow me on X, I've been ripping apart all these so-called leaders that for the last 8 years, people on both sides have propped up. This is why the pantheon of great leaders and great visionaries and great thinkers is very small. Not everybody can be that. Hell, I'm not even that. That's determined by the people. Again, the quote that I came up with: if they give you your intellectual thought leaders, you better question it. I'm not saying you're not supposed to like them or dislike them, but think, why are they showing up all of a sudden? Why are they being lauded over? Why is their name always being bandied about? I got into it with somebody on X today over Thomas Sowell. I got into it with somebody on YouTube about that man. He's not going to be the subject today, but I just thought for context we bring this up. There's a reason why they love conservatives and people on the right love bringing up that man. It's to hide their inequities. It's to make them feel safe and stupid. You're not about to tell me I need to listen to Thomas Sowell when that man has literally published an op-ed saying that there's no systemic racism in 2020. This is what he said. Yet he's an economist and this social philosopher. He's been on the earth for almost 95 years, nearly a century. And he's going to say that systemic racism is no longer existent in this climate. But we understand. But today, like I said, it's not about him. It's going to be about Charlie Kirk and Roland Martin. Two peas on the opposite side of the pod, but they're in there nonetheless. But before we begin, let's see who's in the building. Miss Nisi, good afternoon. Wallow J, good afternoon. Reparations Nation, good afternoon. Catsy, good afternoon. Thank you for being a member for 9 months. Remember, it's only 99 cents. Helps me reinvest back in the platform, buy toys and clothes for the baby. And when you do let us know how long you've been a member, or you do become a member, or you give a super chat or a super sticker, we tell you how much of a blessing that is. And you get this here. That's right. Libertarian Rain, hello. Bert, good afternoon. William Moran, good afternoon. Gamers Den, good afternoon. Kelvin Black, good afternoon. Hacksign KT, good afternoon. Damon Reeves, good afternoon. Black Knight Discussions, good afternoon. Derek Parker, good afternoon. The Ruby Runner, good afternoon. Eddie Foster, good afternoon. Don P, good afternoon. And for those who haven't said anything in the live chat or the comments, good afternoon. Now we got to do the house cleaning. House cleaning.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purpose, such as criticism, commenting, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, education, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
So we'll start with Charlie Kirk first, because that's easy. So for those who don't know, he went on Jubilee about 2 weeks ago. Went viral. And as y'all know, I was trying to get that girl on who was talking about abortion. Didn't work out, but you know, maybe she'll pop in today. We don't know. I sent her the link. We watched the whole thing, family. Even past the abortion part, it's even worse. But he said something in there that I think you guys would be particularly interested in. Now, it doesn't say here, but we'll just let you know. That man talked about black crime. You know, the white conservatives' favorite trope. Black crime. I want y'all to hear him talk to these liberals about black crime. So, Charlie Kirk, welcome to the zone. Once again, you've been here before, but
this is way over the edge. Like we it's not even over the edge. We died already.
This is beyond the event horizon. Like we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah, we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah.
Get to work.
See, important that someone's okay.
My next claim is that Kamala Harris is a DEI candidate.
only one person. So no, so no black people went up there. They were like, we go on that one. Okay.
Petition Mason.
Yeah, exactly.
Good to see you.
Good to see you again.
Can I define what a DEI candidate is?
I think that you're going to say because she's black and she's a woman, she's appointed because Joe Biden promised that, and it's not a testament to her
Not
success.
only that, but also in her getting the nomination of the Democrat Party, they said repeatedly, we do not want to pass over a black female. Okay, so just those two things, but the first one is stronger. You're right. Joe Biden said, I'm going to put on my vice presidency a black female. Right. So his criteria was, and that was like Karen Bass and Kamala Harris. Okay. So she was not chosen because of her intellect or her accomplishments or because of any of that. It was because she happened to fit a couple boxes. In fact, Amy Klobuchar, the vetting at the time was that Amy Klobuchar would have been a better VP, and Kamala ended up getting it. So it's just a statement of fact that she is there not because of her brilliance or accomplishments, but because of her ethnicity.
So Kamala Harris, first and foremost, there are a lot of criticisms that you can give to her on why she wouldn't be an effective president. It shouldn't be because
number one, she's not black. So let's just establish that again. She's not black. She's South Asian. She's part of AAPI.
she's a woman or because she's black. And it seems to be that you're saying that.
No, I just want people to understand.
She's not black.
She absolutely did. She has a career where she's been not only a DA,
DEI stands for
one of the biggest.
Didn't earn it, just so we're clear. But like it's
there you go. DEI stands for didn't earn it. And y'all know I hate commandment. She didn't earn it though. I mean, you got to get to the top some way. She didn't earn it. All right. Okay. Now, again, I ain't defending Kamami. We already know what this means. Didn't earn it. That didn't come because of Kamami. Pause. That came about because they want to dunk on black folk. Our accomplishments from the cousins all the way outside to the diaspora that's on code. They want to minimize it. All right. Didn't earn it. You mean like those white pilots that cry that they can't get back in the planes because they can't handle the technology, Charlie? You mean them? All right. It's okay.
Stands for diversity, equity, inclusion.
No,
I like the meme though.
I know what it is. But do you at least admit and acknowledge that when Joe Biden was searching for a VP, he cared more about skin color and a female than the smartest, best person?
So the whole conversation with this affirmative action with DEI, the whole reason why people bring it in is to make this imaginary scenario that there's a super qualified white man who was overpassed by this unqualified, stupid idiot person of color, which is such a terrible analogy because it's not true.
His own team
it's absolutely not true. That's not what it is. Joe Biden did not say, I'm going to choose an unqualified person and just a
his own team.
He's saying that I'm going to have two qualified people. If one comes from a different experience, it might be better to have a diversity and have a better perception.
He said
in forms of
said
government.
at the South Carolina debate that I will pick a black woman as my vice president. Secondly, Amy Klobuchar came out.
Is this a random?
Well, he lied. He lied. He didn't pick a black woman. He lied. The only black person he picked was nobody. By that metric, he didn't pick nobody because we all know Lloyd Austin was not picked by Biden. We know that. But all right, Charlie's gonna regale us with this intellect that he got.
Black woman that you plucked off the street, or is this a qualified DEA general attorney who's had a decorated career leading government positions? But you keep rambling about things that just aren't relevant to what we're talking about.
It is relevant. Amy Klobuchar in vetting came across as the more qualified candidate.
Why?
Because they said Kamala Harris wasn't very smart, wasn't very bright. That's their own vetting documents. From who? Joe Biden's own vetting documents.
So
okay. What's this say? Vice president candidates vetted by then Democrat nominee President Biden had to submit documents to more than a dozen lawyers. In general, vice presidential vetting goes over every aspect of the candidate's life down to their high school romances. Oh, ain't that something? Okay.
Why would he go against that?
Because the base of the Democrat Party demands tribal politics and DEI politics over competency.
That's completely inaccurate.
The funny thing is, none of these people knew DEI existed until after the midterms. Just thought we'd throw that out there.
Stated to Jim Clyburn said, I will only endorse you in the South Carolina primary if you say that you're going to put a black person, preferably a black female, on your ticket with you.
And
therefore,
he
you
didn't,
winnow the
and
entire
they didn't,
down.
and he still endorsed it. But go ahead.
Criteria. And let's just think more broadly. If you're about to have heart surgery, would you rather have a heart surgeon that's good and excellent, knows what he's doing, or someone that is a black female?
What? Oh my God. There it is. Someone who's good and qualified over a black woman. So the black woman might not be qualified. Oh my God. Here we go. Boy, that Jefferson scene just keeps coming back. It's just being replayed 50 years later. No, Chief Ali, good afternoon. He's not saying she's not qualified. He's saying if he had the choice between somebody who's good and qualified, doesn't matter who it is, or a black female, he's choosing the good and qualified, even though the black female could be running it and could be top 10. He's going to pick the good qualified. Oh, boy. Oh, my God. Keep going, Charlie. Keep going. Soon you'll pull out the hood from your back pocket or your breast pocket, we say, because you're wearing a suit.
And being president is more important than being a heart surgeon.
Aren't you on record saying that you'd be terrified?
That's a damn lie. Because the president is not more important than a heart surgeon. But okay, we could debate that another day. But we're not going to do that.
If there was a black pilot.
Yeah,
that was flying.
Yes, I did say that. But why?
Okay, cool.
What was the full quote?
I personally, I don't know. If you want to expand on that.
So this ties into this. United Airlines said that half of all their new hirees are going to be black or women, and that standards and pursuit of excellence is.
And we've already. That's not what they said. He's literally lying right in front of this boy. And the boy, and again, family. This is something that I've told y'all about. Torian's told you about this. Afro, Black Alpha, Beatzilla, the Black Authority, Professor Black Truth, Tariq, ZZ, Nicole's View, everybody, Harvey. Shout out to brother Harvey. If y'all not on the Rumble, please go over there and support the brother. We have told you that these conservatives do not, I repeat, do not go into territories where they know they're going to get cooked. They go where it's safe. Charlie Kirk went to Jubilee because he knows these kids are either in college or fresh out of college. And most of them are living in California. This is safe for him.
It's not going to be taken as.
He's going to get views regardless of what he says. He dare not go to an area like this, or even with them white liberals or them white conservatives that don't like him, and have a real intellectual, honest debate, because he know he gonna get cooked. That's why he goes to colleges. That's easy. I could do that. Secondly, he told this lie about United Airlines. That's not what they said. They said minorities and women. The pie is cut up on that side 8 different ways. White men are still going to be the predominant. But he can't tell these students that because number one, they're not going to go look it up. And number two, if he says that, then his whole argument is defeated. Because it doesn't matter even if black people max it out on both sides. What is that? So you got 50% white men, right? The other 50% is 8 people, is 8 different subsectors. So that is around 6.25%. So even if black people max it out, we're only 12.5%. And that's if we get in. We're still 4 times underneath. Where is the threat? Are you, so white people, y'all are scared of 12.5%? Gotcha. Glad you're telling us the truth.
Get to work. Seriously, as diversity. When I'm flying a plane, I want to know my pilot is there because they're a good pilot, not because they fit some DEI box.
Damn it.
Is he insane? Does he not understand? We went over the qualifications to become a pilot. They ain't getting in the cockpit unless they have 30,000 hours. That's FAA regulation, sir. The guys that, this is why I tell you, conservatives don't read and they don't research. But all right.
I wish we could have a better conversation.
I'm sorry, man.
Who next? Oh,
fast, man.
Okay, so let's say that Kamala Harris was a DEI hire as vice president. Do you think she's also a DEI hire as the presidential nominee for the Democratic Party?
Potentially. I mean, they decided to go to her almost immediately because she is the VP, but also because she fits some criteria boxes. But let me ask you.
You don't think it's because Joe Biden
everybody
nominated
fit the criteria box,
sure,
dumb.
But let me ask you, what's her greatest achievement or accomplishment?
Her greatest achievement or accomplishment? I'd say her greatest achievement or accomplishment is completely destroying the Republican Party within like 2 weeks of being nominated.
Okay, now this boy is out there. Her biggest accomplishment is being a U.S. senator. Oh, I know they're gonna get mad at me in the comment thread. What about vice president? She's been a failure. At least with a senator, she could hide behind other senators. She got to yell at people in the Senate. She got to do interrogations. That's her biggest accomplishment. But there you go. For those who are gonna come in there and tell me that I'm being anti-black woman, she's not black, number one. So there's that. But number two, yeah, U.S. Senator, not Vice President. We helped you. Think.
The polls, she's just absolutely.
Huh? Sorry.
Damn, they all kicked him out. They were like, no, sir. And Charlie Kirk didn't even have to say nothing. How you lose to Charlie Kirk, sir? You don't cut your hair and don't, get better talking points. Get some. Ooh, black woman. Hey.
What's your name?
Amanda. So you believe because Kamala is black and a woman, she was chosen for
It's not
vice
my own
president?
belief. Her own team, Joe Biden said that.
She's
He
not
said,
black.
Yeah, he said I'm first because beforehand he said I'm going to choose a black female for vice president. He didn't say I'm going to choose the most gifted or the most talented or the most accomplished. He said I'm going to choose a black female. And so by
she's not
definition that is
black.
DEI.
So he lied.
That is not the definition of DEI. By him saying that he was going to choose a black female, that could insinuate that he already had Kamala in mind for the role. No way does that insinuate that she's
But he
DEI.
What is DEI?
DEI would be
Choosing somebody based on their race?
no. It's giving people of color the opportunity to be welcomed into spaces in which they typically
Like Kamala
aren't
Harris?
able to get
There's
into.
never been a female black vice president.
And why do you think that is?
Well, not why.
God. Charlie's really about to argue that there's never been a black face in a high place. He's really about to argue this. Go ahead.
You just said that's DEI.
That
So by definition, she's DEI.
She's
okay,
not
so she
DEI.
represents diversity within the government.
Well,
Is
no,
what
you're
you're
saying
saying.
she got elevated because she was
No.
a black female.
If that were the
She's
case,
not
I'd
black.
be president right now.
do you
Like-
think Kamala Harris was chosen because of her intelligence?
Her qualifications and her intelligence.
He really just called her
Wow.
stupid.
If you
What's her
compare
great-
a
what's her
speech
greatest
with
accomplishment?
Kamala,
What's her
Hold
greatest
up.
probably being
Okay, now you're gonna make me defend command, sir. She at least graduated law school, sir. You dropped out. You tried to go to West Point and didn't even get in. Stop it. You're a literal dropout. You're a modern day McNamara minion. Go look that up. Hey, Tori, there you go. You got an idea. There you go. Oh my God. Continue.
prosecutor within the Northern Californian
Oh, really? You
area.
mean letting out violent criminals and turning San Francisco one of the most murderous, dangerous, arson-filled, homeless-filled slums in the country?
Wow.
Now San Francisco is a slum. Jesus Christ. It's such a slum that they're pricing everybody out, but it's such a slum. San Francisco. Okay, dude.
That's her greatest accomplishment?
See, I actually went to UC Berkeley, so I lived there. I don't know if you did. I went around the
Berkeley
area.
is a slum.
Berkeley's a slum.
Okay, wait a minute. Charlie, you might be right. Let's look up Berkeley. He said Berkeley is a slum. Oh, this should be good. This should be, he might be right. He could be right. Well, these are aerial pictures. Looks okay so far. Let's look at that. Let's look at that income. Let's look at that income one time. Okay, let's see income maps. Let's see. This is such a slum that you have to have at least $100,000 in household income to live there. But it's such a slum. So in 2000, it was 30,000. Then in 2022, there's per capita. They losing their mind right now. 67,887. So that was 2022. Now here we are. That's per capita. Median household income was 94,846, was 3.5% greater than the median annual income of 91,551 across the entire state of California. So this is probably what they're saying here for those who can't understand it. This is one of the most expensive places to live in California. You got to have some money. Where's Don P? He can tell me if I'm lying. What them rents look like. Let's see. Housing ordinance. Look how much they're paying for square footage. He said it's a slum. This one says 100, almost 105,000. This one says annual average is 160, but it's a slum. This one says 118. He said it's a slum. What them houses look like? I'm curious. The man said it's a slum. Let me look at them slum house. Lord have mercy. This is a slum. Almost $1 million. There's only 3 bedrooms. That's a slum. Okay. That's a slum. Look at this. This is $2 million. Look at this $2 million slum. My God. Look, this one is almost a little over $1 million. Look at this slum. Do you see how dirty this backyard is? Who mans is this? What is, let me look. What is the cheapest? Let me see. What's the, let's go 50. Let's do half, let's do up to 800,000. I want to see what you get. Bruh. 500,000, you get a 1-bedroom. This is a condo. This is a condo. A 2-bedroom house for 700,000. Look at this condo. This looks like a renovated loft space. Look, this is almost $500,000 for 2 bedrooms. And earthquakes. What? Who mans is this? Look at this slum. A $700,000 studio. This looks like a slum to you, Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk said it's a slum. Let me see what Berkeley, California streets look like. Where is Google Earth? What have I told y'all? Conservatives don't research and they don't read. Let me look at Google Earth. Maybe it does look like a slum. There's probably a whole bunch of homeless people running around. Let's go look at Google Earth. And then we'll get back to this. The boy's not smart. Berkeley, California. Okay. Let's go. Come on. Let's get in there. We're going to look. Now, family, I'm going to let y'all decide. We're looking. Y'all tell me, does this look like a slum to you? Damon Reeves, you out there? Where Don P at? He out there. Please. Y'all tell me, is this a slum? We're going to go in closer. Look, them street. That is the cleanest slum I ever seen. Look at this. Where are the homeless people on the corner? Does he even this? You know what? This is the new favela. Look at this. That is a slum. And I don't care about the buildings real much, but where's the slums? There's Berkeley City College. This looks like a slum. Okay. Thanks, Charlie. Shit. Somebody said that looked like East Baltimore. All right.
Get to work.
Have you stepped into Berkeley?
Yes, I have. You think Oakland and Berkeley?
Have you lived in Berkeley? I've lived in Oakland as well.
do you think-
You're basing your
You think the Bay
information.
Area is like a good
Where in Berkeley were you, sir?
area in this country?
I'm from Vegas, so I'm not from the Bay. Born and raised in Vegas and went to UC Berkeley. Just graduated this year. What you're saying, literally in no way, shape,
So I
or
just
form
want to be
makes
clear.
sense.
So you think her overseeing San Francisco becoming the laughingstock of the country
San
is her greatest?
Francisco is
San
not.
Francisco and Berkeley are two different things. There it is. The boy not bright. They're two completely different towns and cities, sir. Berkeley is a suburb. San Francisco is a major metropolitan area. A major metropolitan city. It's not even close. They don't even share the same mayor.
Not the laughing stock of the country. If anything, that's Florida. No offense.
Talk your
But-
shit.
If that's the case, why are millions of people moving to Florida and millions of people leaving California?
Because there are cheaper rates there. People are moving to Las Vegas. Las Vegas has changed as a whole.
It's cheaper because it's a better run state, and we don't.
No, sir. It's cheaper because this fucking guy. California is one of the most expensive places to live in the world. Y'all know that. Y'all know that. And you know the reasons why. It's right on the ocean. Yes, goods and services are expensive there, but the topography lends itself to be appealing to folk. You have two major cities right on the water where you have access to certain amenities that you can't get anywhere else. Like yearly decent weather. When the last time y'all had to wear a North Face and you weren't going to go ski? The fuck? What is wrong with him? Well, Don P, he must have been on the MLK side. Jesus Christ. We on Jubilee. This is the whole website. I'm not going. I'm not going. They throw me off. I'd make way too much sense. Well, technically, she's not a college student anymore. She's an adult now. So yeah, why I'm not going? I'm not flying to California to go argue with folk. I can just do that here. I ain't trying to take the couple $100 they're gonna give me. Hell no. And I'm not about to pay $8 for no gas in the rental. I'm not doing that. But I do want to go to California one day. Just to see it. I'd be like, this is the hype? All right, I'm out. I don't need In-N-Out Burger that much. But anyway, we're gonna let this continue. By the way, this girl was cooking this man.
And Northern California is not all. Northern California is not the entirety of California.
Hold on a second, but
there's Southern California, Northern California.
Why is it that
it's
so
a
many
very big
businesses
state.
are leaving San Francisco? She did such a great job lowering crime.
Do you know businesses go where things are cheapest to operate?
Why are they cheaper? Because they're better run states.
Do you
No, they're
realize that
not,
California
sir.
is one of the most populated
That's
states within
not
the
always
U.S.
the
So
reason.
obviously
So is
costs are going
Texas
to be
and
higher.
California.
Not only that, but land within this state is also very,
Yes.
very, very minimal. So that's
Hold on, you have tons of land. You're one of the biggest states.
Yes,
in the
it is.
world.
No, it's sir. Is he don't I tell you they don't know nothing. Where is Don P? Don P, come here for a second. I need to talk. Either you or Damon. One of y'all come up here, please. Or Church of Black Power. One of y'all come up here, please. Y'all got to explain it. Y'all got to explain California to folk. Because he make it seem like you can just operate in California anywhere. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you want to be in the Simi Valley operating your business and the earthquake hit. I'm sure you want that. Shit. Hey, what if I told y'all they're building one in Tennessee? I ain't gotta go that far no more. Instead of going 10 hours, now I can go 4. They're building one in Tennessee. They're finally coming east. Maybe, who knows? Maybe in the next 5 years, maybe Georgia will get one and traffic in Atlanta will be worse. The boy is not intelligent. He's really not intelligent. He thinks, and just because California is one of the biggest states in the country, you could just operate anywhere. He doesn't take into account there might be a lack of resources. He doesn't take into the fact that if you're going to run a business there, how do you do know you're going to have to cost out your distance to make a profit? He don't figure none of this. Oh, Torian, I know that one in Tennessee is going to be crazy when it first opens up. That's why I'm going to wait about a year. I want to wait a year so everybody has it died down, and I want to wait a year to make sure they get it right. Because I ain't finna go over there the first week and them animal fries suck. I'm gonna be really pissed off. You letting this girl cook you. There you go. Good afternoon. Hello.
Hey.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Salama. Man, this dude don't know what he's talking about.
Can you please explain California?
California is an interesting animal. It has 3 parts to it. Actually, 4 parts. It's got the northern part, you know, which encompasses the mountains and stuff like that, which that's where the white folks live. And because you know they up there with the mountain goats and the mountain lions and things of that nature.
And the coyotes.
And the snows and the coyotes, yes. And then you got the Northern California, which is kind of right under Sacramento down to like Vallejo. And that kind of starts the East Bay. And that goes all the way down to Hayward. And that section also includes San Francisco, Oakland, Berkeley, all that, San Jose, all that. Then after that, you got the Valley. That's where they grow stuff. That's Stockton and Fresno, those places, all the way till you get to the Grapevine, where you got to go over the mountains. And once you go over the mountains, you're in Southern California. So that's pretty much it. But I mean, they're all kind of different. Like in the Valley, you know, it's a little lower incomes there in the Valley. And what other place?
And it's only lower income there because they have programs like Section 8 taking over those areas. It's only lower there because of the fact that they have, you know, governmental services helping certain people be able to afford those areas. Because
Property value.
Exactly.
Here we go. See, what did I tell you? It was going to try.
So if we were talking about and just to get back onto the situation of you can put a business anywhere in California, there are things called reservations to where a lot of the property is actually put to the side for the Morongos, the Agua Caliente, and all these other Native American, well, so-called Native American groups. You get what I'm saying? So there's property that he's talking about that there is no like development, things like that, but that's because it doesn't belong to the government. It belongs to these folks that the land was given to. They just haven't developed it yet. Excuse me.
All right, real quick. Skin Deep Passion, you see new but welcome. Who told you that we gave you the intellectual thought leaders? This is okay. You're new here, so you don't understand. I have this quote that I say. It's called, if they give you your intellectual thought leaders, you better question it. If they're propping them up on TV and telling you to go read their books, you need to question that. Because real thought leaders put in that work and the people endorse them. Who endorsed Jordan Peterson? Who endorsed Thomas Sowell? Damn sure wasn't the government, and he's an economist. You know who endorsed him? Conservatives. Jordan Peterson was endorsed by social media. That's what we mean. And look what's happened. Jordan Peterson turned into a raging lefty now. But conservatives loved him about 4 years ago. Thomas Sowell gets his economics and his social justice talking points ripped apart every day. They don't even bring him on. They bring him on to make white people feel safe and stupid. When's the last time you seen him on TV? Last year. And we have a whole election cycle. This man has seen how many election cycles? He's 94 years old. That means he's experienced in his lifetime 23 of them, and he's been able to vote in 19 of them. But they don't ask him to come on. Who's going to win, Kamala or Trump? Haven't done it yet. That's what I mean. But I appreciate it. The government, sir. The government and social media entities like Charlie Kirk here. Them type of folk. When they get into discussions with folk, they start talking about, oh, you need to read Thomas Sowell. Okay. And we've done it. And he hasn't said anything that we haven't heard before or anything that we can't debunk.
And people know that. They know that Thomas Sowell can be easily debunked. But they also know that we have this little thing called COINTELPRO, where they literally said, we will give you your leaders and we will give them their talking points. Mm-hmm. And literally, I don't know how anybody could sit here and big up anybody who's sitting there in cahoots with the government knowing this. Now, it'd be different if you was in cahoot with the government and that person was actually doing something for that community. But you can't be in cahoots with the government and then sit here and dispute every grassroots organization that came out and spoke against the government. All you're doing is showing your affiliation and who you're actually dedicated to.
Nobody said the government wasn't a necessary thing. You know what? We ain't got to talk. Get up here and talk. We got to have a conversation, sir. Come here. Because I think I laid that out pretty easily for you to understand. He had an opportunity. They said that he was going to run in Reagan's first administration, and he shot that down. And then all of a sudden, a year later, he shows up in San Francisco for a whole conference and has somebody from Reagan's administration sitting there. 4 years later, he becomes the AG. And then we just watch his progression. And all of a sudden, now we're in 2020. He's talking about there's no systemic racism. The man who lived through civil rights is telling you there's no systemic racism. It just eradicated itself. Okay. An economist is telling you that. An economist. But y'all cool with that. Come up here, skin deep passion. We can have a conversation. But anyway, back to this California piece. Is Berkeley a slum besides the MLK part? Because still $450,000 in a slum is crazy.
No, Berkeley's not a slum. It's not a slum at all. I mean, there's, Berkeley, when you get closer to Oakland with Berkeley, you might see some, less than desirable houses, but those properties are still more expensive than most properties in the United States.
Right. Absolutely. Try and go and get a place over there by the USC. Now they'll sit there and tell you how right across the street from USC, there's this whole gang complex, these projects for Fruittown, Brims, and all this other stuff. But go and try and get housing over there by USC and see how much that's going to cost you. Yes, they're. I don't know if they bought it all up, but I know they started to buy it up a few years ago. I'm not sure if they got it all, but I know that that's what they were doing. Yes.
Yeah, they're buying up a lot of property there.
Even down here, even down here in Atlanta, like where Emory is, they're buying up all that property over there. That was like, I won't say affordable housing, but I mean, you could just, those houses were like $200,000. Now they knocked all of them down and they're building a new dorm over there.
Yeah, the reason they do that is because the people there in those areas typically don't have any power.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So they're not going to get any resistance. That's why we get all the industrial crap primarily where we live. Besides the fact that, we're a cursed people.
Well,
But,
for all intents and purposes, you got to understand that we don't own those properties in the first place. A lot of the people who live around there because they're renting. They're not owning. Their property value would actually rise if they were owning. But that's when you start to see how they want to purchase all the property because they don't want people owning. Because people start looking at the rent, and if I'm paying this much for rent, I might as well be buying. You get what I'm saying? And so they're like, no, we don't want you thinking like that. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to the people who actually own it, who look like us, who owns these projects, who owns these condos, who owns these apartment buildings, and we're going to give them an offer that they can't refuse, which is, hey, we don't want these black folks owning nothing. So let me buy this from you. And we're going to bring some more white folks up in here and gentrify this place. And that's what they've been doing.
Yeah, well, I got news for you. I got news for you. BlackRock and
Vanguard.
Vanguard, yes, sir. Fidelity. Is Fidelity still up in there?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. They're buying all the property. That's why you've seen all these commercials. I can give you cash for your property because they're trying to move us to a place where you will own nothing
and like it.
Right. And you have to look at the independent little situations too when it comes to buying the properties. When you driving around, you see these little hand-wringing signs talk about we buy houses no matter what condition, all this stuff. That's all them. But what they do is they purchase these independent companies and they say, hey, we want you to continue to look independent. We don't want you to have that money flow like BlackRock got. We don't want you to have the notoriety like Vanguard has. We want you to stay looking like you're small and independent. It's the same thing that happens with the music industry right now. A lot of independent labels are being purchased and bought out by these major labels, and they're telling them, hey, we want you to stay looking like you're independent.
Right. You'll just be a division of us.
Right.
Going.
Right. And when you look at like Discord, one of the like major independent platforms for a lot of independent artists, they're owned by Universal. So you're sitting here thinking that you're an independent artist, but you're actually doing business with Universal. And the person who don't read the whole terms and conditions would give a lot more away than what they actually want to give away.
I actually had to curse somebody.
You know, it's a trip. You know, it's a trip. We're actually the only ones that are free. We are actually the only ones that are free. Everyone else is a slave because they're dependent upon what the people that control them say. And if they say anything that's outside or off their code, you're done. Or you're going to get punished. Whereas us, they can't do anything to us because we're not owned by you. You don't pay us. So truly, we're the only ones that are free. The rest of these people are slaves, like this white slave on the screen.
Oh, he gonna tell you November 5th. He in for a rude wake up call, boy.
Oh no. He's not a slave owner. Let me just, and Don P, much love to you. I love you, brother, but I gotta
I said he's a slave.
No, he's a slave. He said he's a slave, not a slave owner.
I was about to say, I thought you said like this white slave owner on the screen. Charlie Kirk.
He wouldn't even know what to do with a slave if he had.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk's a slave to the people that pay him.
Yeah, he is a slave. You're absolutely correct. I thought you said slave owner. I was about to say.
Started him off with Turning Point USA.
But turn you out, USA.
Yo, toilet paper USA. Listen, we've heard the stories at those fests.
Turn around and bend down, USA. I get it. Yeah, we know who he is.
Turn you out. Oh, we know their Diddy parties were crazy.
Oh, come on now.
But anyway, I appreciate y'all explaining California because apparently I need to go to Berkeley. Then maybe I might have the money to move to Berkeley since it's such a slum.
If he's saying Berkeley's a slum, then you got to look at it like this too. You might as well start looking in areas like Santa Barbara.
Is it Santa Barbara a slum? Manhattan Beach. What about Manhattan?
I mean,
Beach?
if they're saying Berkeley's a slum, Santa Barbara gotta be a slum too.
What's that?
Kid Gravity. What's the crime stats in Berkeley?
We could look that up real fast.
Yeah, because see, that's usually a correlation to slums. So let's see that.
But the coldest part is the crime stats is lower than actual Santa Barbara, where Michael Jackson lived. I'm telling you, there's no.
Number of crimes, 8,311 annually. Crime
What's the
rate per
typical street crime?
Berkeley violent crimes. That's all they have. Property crimes. Berkeley crimes per square mile. I don't. Let me see. What is this? Study on Berkeley police operation field misconduct allegations, crime statistics. Well, y'all were fudging the books. Let me see.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's everywhere.
Most of them do.
So it says it has the highest rate of property crime, second highest rate of violent crime in the Bay Area.
So they basically speaking about B&Es have the highest rate of B&Es, which happens when you have a bunch of rich folks living in one area. You're going to get B&Es all over the place.
And then think about this. Think about this with Berkeley. The university, it is kind of, it's not a university town, but that is a large part of the activity.
It's like Atlanta.
So it attracts all kinds of people. So you got street people and stuff out there. It attracts all kinds of people around the area, and most of them look like they're hippies any daggone way.
Right.
Yeah, it's like Atlanta. Atlanta isn't really supposed to be, I guess you could say, isn't supposed to be a college town. But when you look at the triangle,
the university
belt
center
right there, you get what I'm saying. It becomes kind of a college town. But there's still
so many colleges in like a 30-mile radius. It's not even funny.
Right, but there's still people outside of the colleges that lives around these areas. You feel what I'm saying? And they know, especially like when I was living in Santa Barbara, one thing about Santa Barbara is nobody locked their damn doors. So people would steal out of people's houses all the damn time because nobody would lock their damn doors. You get what I'm saying? So that's the same type of areas.
I mean, they down here trying to gentrify Buckhead. I mean, not Buckhead, Bankhead.
The other thing about Berkeley is when you look at Berkeley's history, that, has a lot to do with the character of the city today. Like you had the People's Park and things of that nature. So you do have, like the transient kind of hippie kind of people, and folks need money because folks got to eat. So, when you don't have a job and you need money because you got to eat, you one of two things, you panhandle or.
Yeah. But I appreciate y'all coming up to this because I need y'all in the
all
chat.
Right, kid.
What he about to say. He about to say
about
some
to drop
bullshit.
down.
Yes, sir.
Much love to you. We out.
You too.
Peace.
All right. So shout out to the slums of Berkeley. Charlie Kirk, get back to work, sir. You gotta regale us some more.
This is one of the biggest lands, but do you also take into account the population that's here?
Yes.
And due
Florida
to that,
and Texas have a greater combined population than California, and
What?
California has more population and more land mass than Florida. Why is it that San Francisco has a declining population and Miami, Tampa, Orlando have an increasing population?
what does this have to do with DEI?
Because she ran San Francisco poorly, and she was chosen as a VP because she was a black.
Bruh, now you're saying Kamala Harris ran San Francisco. Kamala Harris ran San Francisco, sir. So she was DA and the mayor at the same time. Oh, you're gonna say it's Willie Brown, right? She was the de facto mayor because she was on top of Willie Brown, right?
She didn't run San Francisco poorly.
She was the DA of San Francisco.
DA don't run.
And then she became the AG of California, where crime went up, homelessness
She
went up,
don't
arson
run
went up, kidnapping went
She's
up,
not the
murder
police.
went up.
Isn't that the job of the police to get the criminals?
The attorney general of the state is the top cop of the state.
Yes.
And what did she do to lower crime in California?
She convicted those who were guilty.
Why did crime go up?
Bruh,
Because as the population increases and this economy gets worse, as the economy gets worse, people are becoming more and more desperate, which leads to passive crime.
Thank you.
Mine will be quick. Mine will be really quick. Okay, so real quick, you're saying that the only reason she was elected is because she's black? So that trumps her being a district attorney.
Not black. This is not my words. I'm just going on Joe Biden's own words.
Okay.
Joe Biden said, I'm going to preset criteria based on black women, and therefore she met that criteria, and that's why she was selected.
No,
She's not
I
black,
think what he was trying to say is, she's just black. She was just calling her black. She's not saying I'm doing. He's not saying I'm doing this because she's black. That's not what she said.
He made a public promise before the selection even began and the process began. I will put a black woman on the ticket.
So you're saying her being district attorney doesn't matter. That's not why. But yet Trump being a failed businessman and making all the weird comments he's made. That doesn't have any.
What I'm getting at though is that if she was not a black woman, she never would have been chosen.
She's not black.
Her record was abysmal. She was a terrible attorney general of California. She had poorly. Be quick.
I'm so sorry.
She gets the next one.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
All right.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just have to know. Do you think Tim Walz is a DEI
Yes.
candidate? Okay. I just want to see if
No,
you're consistent on that.
DEI does not mean black. Tim Walz was only chosen because the Democrat Party is doing so poorly with white men that they try to find a white man.
So he's lying. He's running away from his own words. DEI doesn't mean black, but you only use it for black people. You gotta love it. You gotta listen to him.
They could put on the ticket.
But then also,
It's true. Tim Walz is the first white DEI candidate in history.
Okay, in the Democratic
White
primaries, Kamala Harris was
DEI,
performing
not
incredibly
white
well,
people can be
and she was
DEI.
performing well in the primaries just because she was black. She was performing well in the primaries.
White males are now DEI. Oh my God. They have no standards.
Because during her time as a senator, she spoke incredibly eloquently. I used to watch.
Hold on a second. How did she do in the Democrat primaries?
She did like much better than Amy Klobuchar.
Hold on. She didn't even make it to Iowa. She dropped out months ahead of the first primary. She was super unpopular, not well liked. Her campaign fizzled out. So she was
popular
awful.
initially.
Initially, yes. And then the more people learned about her, the more realized she was awful.
Well, it was mostly because like progressives are really upset about her being a DA, which like can be like that's a completely different conversation.
Why aren't progressives upset about that now?
I mean, they are, but
they are.
But,
that's news to me.
But I mean,
Everyone's talking about
y'all are not arguing
about the
correctly.
things that Democrat is.
Let this girl
Oh,
go.
thanks, guys. Okay. Hi, how you doing?
Great.
So you keep saying that Kamala Harris is a DEI candidate, and I feel like my main fallacy with this argument is that competency can't be objectively determined because we all have subjective definitions of what a competent politician is. But my question for you is, if Kamala Harris is a DEI candidate, why is she beating Trump in the polls right now?
We'll see what happens in November.
Okay, but she's currently beating Trump in the polls. So either
If the polls are right, I grant you
he's
that.
incompetent,
Or maybe she's a new candidate with a big surge.
she's doing good.
I would caution you being a little
Or
like
it's anybody but Trump.
at this point in the election getting too cocky because we remember what happened with
I'm not
Hillary
getting
Clinton.
cocky. I'm asking you to answer a question. If she is incompetent, how could she beat the
Well,
president, who you said is an
As
amazing
of the
president?
timing of this filming,
for-
can you name to me how many times she sat down for an interview?
What?
She refuses to
No.
talk to the press, refuses to take questions. She's done not one sit-down interview in nearly 25 days at the filming of this interview, mind you.
She literally just did one. Now I don't know when they recorded this, but they could have recorded this before that sit down with CNN. But and a BJ, of course. But again, she's been sitting there for years. Y'all have sample work. Y'all just focused on what she's doing now. All right.
I
I
think
don't
that
know
is
when this
a
will be posted.
very weird point to make.
Well,
why would
why
I
is it-
count how many times Kamala Harris
Because
has
it's
had an
zero?
interview?
Because she refuses to take questions from the press and media? Like it's
Trump doesn't do sit down interviews like that either. So what are you talking about? Y'all act like Trump, like every other month he's sitting down with somebody prime time talking. Since he's been running this time, I think he only sat down with 4 times. And that's in a span of 2 years. That's what we're doing. He's the candidate trying to get back in. He's gonna have to try to do more. You have a 3.5 year sample size of Kamala Harris. If you can't figure out if she's good or not off of that, I don't know what to tell you.
shouldn't you do that if you're the sitting vice president?
No.
He actually did 3 last Sunday and 1 today with Meet the Press.
So the
With Kirsten
qualification
Walker,
of a good
debating her.
president is to take an interview.
If you can't take a single question, but let me ask you this because it's on you. What's her greatest accomplishment as vice president?
As vice president, being the first female all-black president. We've never had that.
No.
before.
Like I got that. But like,
But
what's
that's
her
not an
accomplishment?
accomplishment, man.
I don't know. Vice presidents don't really do much, to be honest.
Can you
That's
name
a
one
damn
thing
lie.
she's
Come on, people. Y'all should have studied. She's in charge of foreign policy.
done that's good?
No, probably not. Thank you. The Inflation Reduction
Oh,
Act.
really? Did that
That
lower
wasn't
inflation?
her. Damn, she looked like she got her feelings hurt. No. The Inflation Reduction Act, no. No. Inflation's still going up. But all right.
What's your name?
Brad
Nice
Brady.
to meet
Nice to meet you. I like the idea.
That
30
is the
seconds on,
whitest
30
name
seconds
I've
off.
ever heard.
I think
Brad
the best thing I
Brady.
can say about this is you have your opinion and I can have mine. You believe that Donald Trump was a good president. I maybe don't believe that. You believe that Kamala Harris is a DEI candidate for the position of president. I don't believe that. What I'm getting to is, what do you gain from this? If I concede and say that Kamala Harris is a DEI candidate, what do you gain? Because I know what it is. You're baiting us into rage so that you can make money on your TikTok account. You're baiting college students all over the world into...
Wait a minute. We might have found somebody. Let's go. Now, this is just surface level cheering from me. And he could be just dumb as a box of rocks, but let's see where this goes.
Arguing with you over these fallacies. You throw a red herring out there and you're making money from this account while we're sitting here and looking stupid.
First of all, I don't control this account. I'm a guest here. This is Jubilee Media, and they're going to edit it as they see fit. Okay, number one. Number two, it needs to be acknowledged that she didn't earn it. She didn't win a Democrat primary. She dropped out in the Democrat primary in 2020.
She ran with the scumbag and they won. She had something to contribute to that. Oh, so we're going to forget about the VP debate in 2020. We're going to forget about that. She did beat Pence. Much to what y'all like to say, Pence washed her. We all watched it. She beat that man. So, I mean, she won the second highest seat in the country on the executive side. So, I mean, it is what it is. Fine. You want to say she didn't earn being the presidential nominee? Okay, fine. She still has to sell the message. This is why I told y'all when they did the when they had those Zoom meetings, what did I say? She's viable. I didn't say she was gonna win. I said she's viable. She obviously did something to spur people to drop millions of dollars on her in 2 days. That sounds pretty good for a DEI candidate.
Never been likable. She's got there simply because of race, not because of competency, not because she's good at her job. And I think that's wrong and needs to be called out.
You're bringing up qualitative examples. These are all subjective qualitative examples. Her race, her competency, her
Those are
dropping
Joe
out of the
Biden's
election.
words.
That's not what you said earlier. I'm talking about the points you've just brought up, multiple qualitative points. And these points can be believed by you and not by me, as you believe in a God and I don't. These are qualitative arguments that you're making against me for this. And I can believe differently than you. And I think we can agree to disagree on this one.
Okay, fine.
Perfect.
I think it's going to take the entire time. You're welcome. 30 on, 30 off.
Huh?
How do you feel about the Senate?
They cut me? That's hot. Wait a minute, they cut me? Wait, maybe Jubilee got mad. Let's look. Let me look. Let me look. I'm sure they did. Of course. Well, go to kick. I don't even know where it cut off. Go to kick. Go to kick until we can well, it said, hold on, what does it say? It says stream unavailable. Well, ain't that something? All right, so we'll do this then. Yeah, go to kick. The kick is still live. I don't even know. I'm trying to figure out if I cut it, it's gonna go away. Shit. Okay. You know what? We'll stop it there. No, we got to get to the crime stuff. All right. Now we're going to go to kick. Bastards. You bastards, you. Let's go get that kick link. Motherfuckers. They mad, boy. They mad, boy. They so bad. This is not, but this ain't a copyright violation. Ain't that something? All right. Well, there's YouTube. Let me see. I can put it back. So what we're going to do is I could remove it. I think I could put it back. That's what we're going to do.